Hi Libra, so I like to get straight into the readings. If there's anything that you feel you need to know about the readings, then I strongly encourage you to read the descriptions box, especially if you're new to tarot, okay? The card deck information can always be found in my pinned comment below. Cross watchers, please remember that you can switch the energies around if it applies, but do try and keep in mind that this might not be your story at all. This could be somebody else entirely different that your Libra is dealing with, and equally Libra, if you just take what resonates for you and leave what doesn't for another Libra. Okay, right, so with this oracle deck, my intent is to pull 4 cards, and if any of the zodiacs come out, then we will clarify those with a different tarot deck. Hopefully we can get a description either of you, your person, or the situation that you're dealing with at this time from this deck. After that, we'll move on to your main tarot spread, okay? Now, please do use your discernment. Your first oracle read, it could describe an individual, as I've already said, and then your tarot could go on to describe a completely different and unrelated person, okay? So always, always use your own discernment. Keep an open mind. Not all of these messages will resonate for some of you. It's not a problem. Okay. Right, so you have got Saturn. You could be dealing with a Capricorn, or you could have Capricorn in your own chart. Fire, Aries, Leo, Sag, or you could have heavy fire placements in your own chart. Moon, with this being an astrology deck, that would be Cancerian, okay? And there's your Capricorn, okay? Heavy Capricorn and heavy fire. Right, so let's have a look. We've got a lot of restrictions here with this Saturn and Capricorn. In fact, it's bookending this read. You can see that for yourself, right? You've got restrictions before you start something, and then you've got restrictions while you're doing something. So heavy, heavy restrictions with the Saturn. There's also a message here about a solid structure and boundaries. So you're limited, you're facing limitations by boundaries that have been put in place by someone or something outside of yourself, because the Saturn is usually an outside influence that is causing limitations. It's also the planet of karma, because it's power to reward, right? Obviously learning important lessons through the challenges that you're currently facing. It's a time to change something with all of this father time energy. It could be difficult for you to try something new, I think is what they're trying to say, because there's like a subconscious fear with this moon energy. You could be feeling that something goes against tradition, Moon and Capricorn. So you're trying to push the boundaries of your own limits, but you're also pushing the boundaries of limits that have been put onto you, quite possibly by a mother figure as well with the moon. It could well be for some of you that there is a lot of internal work that is still needing to be done that pertains to a mother wound for some of you. This mother wound could have affected the decisions, well, yeah, it would have affected the decisions that you made in your past, and it's still affecting the decisions that you're about to make. There's this disconnect between your intuition and like what you would desire to do. That there are desires here with this Capricorn energy. That I'm stuck on this mother wound. I'm genuinely stuck on it. It's almost as if you had things that were said to you as a child that have always stuck. They've always stuck with you. You've never been able to shift these negative things that were programmed into you as a child, quite possibly by a mother. And it plays on your mind whenever you try and attempt to do something new. So that's your limitations. Your limitations is your past programming. It's time to change that up. Father time. And it's really, really difficult for you to change that up because now it's become a habit. It's a habit because it's all that some of you have ever known. It's a really difficult topic of conversation. On my channel, I talk about it openly, okay? There is no shame on this channel. That this is a safe area where you can discuss things, okay? This is a problem that society refuses to acknowledge, and that this has come out a few times over the past 6 months in particular. So there's something else that's going on here on a bigger scale that pertains to healing, inner wounds, child wounds, past programming, that there is, I feel strongly that this is to do with like some kind of mass ascension or a mass awakening or something like that is going on, because it's come out consistently in the Taurus readings. It has made more recently an appearance in the Pisces read, and now I'm seeing it in your read, Libra. So it's affecting certain zodiacs at certain times, like at certain times of the month. You could well be feeling regression. You're going through days of regression at this time. Why this is coming up in a love romantic read, I think, is to do with the fact that this mother wound has had a very negative effect on the romantic relationships that you have had. All right, I think that's why it's coming out in your love read. I really, really do. It's also affected the things that, like the decisions that you made pertaining to your career as well. This mother wound has even affected that. Okay, so it's gotten into every aspect of your life. It's like a poison. It's gotten in through every crack possible. Everything, career, romance, the types of like the way that you interact with others in this day and age, it's all affected. It's all affected. You have this overwhelming desire with this fire energy to change it, to genuinely and honestly put the work in and to change it. But again, with this disconnect, you don't know how. So you could be struggling to manifest as well, manifest positive things in your life. There's something about being practical with it. You need to get practical with this in order to initiate the changes that you need to see to help you overwrite this past programming. Okay, understand, if this is resonating for you, I want to tell you straight up, this was not your fault. You were a child. This was not your fault. This is what was done to you, and this is what you have to work through and work with. Right? It's not your fault. You were handed a really shitty deck of cards, basically. So get practical with it. Pick out the cards that you want to discard and keep the cards that you want to keep. Create new ones. Create a new deck. Why the hell not? All right? But this fire is a starting point because it's initiation energy. And there's also a message with fire. As someone who used to work with fire every day, I can tell you straight up from experience, fire can create or it can destroy. So pay attention, because this energy can create or destroy. Okay, what are you going to do with it, Libra? Are you going to continue to allow the past programming to destroy your life the way that it has been? Or are you going to pick it up and start creating something brand new with it instead? And using it as a starting point for something brand new. Okay, right, so let's keep the pace going. I know it's a little bit dark and depressing. It's coming out in your read for a reason though, Libra, okay? Abso-friggin-lutely. Right, so for those of you who are dealing with a Capricorn, and you do have it here twice, we're going to ask first, what does the Capricorn want with Libra, please? Thank you. Okay, the Capricorn is actually looking for answers about why you walked away. So if you ended things with a Capricorn, or if you suddenly just stopped communicating with a Capricorn, that they're wondering why. Okay, with this combination, and that they're looking for answers. It's indicating that this particular Capricorn is very, very sensitive, and they could be looking towards you for some kind of closure or confirmation or something. That's really unusual for a Capricorn, because oftentimes a Capricorn wouldn't show emotion, that they wouldn't show that they've been bothered by something. Say let's give an example. If ever you've pissed off a Capricorn, they just look at you like you're an idiot, walk away, and then you never see them again, you know. That's Capricorn energy. That's the way that a Capricorn handles things. That your particular Capricorn, if you're dealing with one, is actually wanting answers, that they're wanting a conversation, that they're wanting truth and honesty, and either they're wanting to show you their caring, sensitive, vulnerable side, or they're wanting you to do that for them. Okay, right. If you're dealing with a fire sign, what does a fire sign want with Libra, please? The Six of Cups, upright. So if you're dealing with a fire sign, they're wanting to have some kind of reconciliation. Now, you could be in touch with a particular fire sign who has been a consistent figure in your life. Could well be a sibling. It could just be a school friend that you kept over the years. There's certainly a very strong bond between yourself and a fire sign. A fire sign is likely to have a conversation with you that pertains to happy memories of the past. I'm feeling for some of you as well, you might be getting a gift of flowers from a fire sign. So you might just randomly open up your front door one day and find either a single flower or a small bunch of flowers on your doorstep, kind of like they're doing a bit of a drop and run, but you're going to know straight away that it's from this very dear friend. You could have been feeling under the weather recently as well, which is why they're doing like a drop and run. Maybe they don't want to catch what you caught or something, I don't know. Maybe they just don't want to bother you, but they want you to, they want to let you know that that they're thinking of you, that they're sending you their thoughts and their well wishes. Okay. What does the Cancerian want with Libra? Okay, so if you're dealing with a Cancerian, it's clarified with the Seven of Coins, patience. A Cancerian is wanting to work at something. A Cancerian is also wanting your opinion on how to do something too. That they could be looking for your financial guidance. If you're romantic with a Cancerian or considering being romantic with a Cancerian, they're showing themselves to be very, very patient, very understanding, and they're letting you take things in your own time. So they will go at the pace that you set for them. Interesting. Okay, there's quite a lot that came out in that read. Okay, so we are going to move on to your tarot spread, and please do keep in mind what it says to you at the start of the read. Whatever comes out in your tarot spread may be in relation to any of these individuals that we've already seen, or it could be someone else entirely unrelated. Okay, never ever try and force anything to fit. That's not healthy. If it resonates for you, then it'll click in place really, really easily without you having to do much thinking about it at all. Okay. If it doesn't resonate for you, then that's not a problem. It just means that that part of the reading was meant for someone else. Okay, right, so your person's headspace. In their headspace, we have the Six of Wands, it's Leo energy. The Nine of Swords is Gemini, and the Moon. Now, with this being a tarot deck, that's going to be Pisces energy, okay? The Moon here twice, though, is really, really interesting. So, and you can see as well, with this Nightmare card and the Moon, the chances are quite high, Libra, that your person is also dealing with a very deep, dark mother wound, all right? If that resonates, it's very, very important that you do the healing work that is required individually. And then you guys can come together and figure something out together. All right. The danger is expecting each other to heal each other's wounds. That never works. Okay. It never, ever, ever works. So laying the groundwork individually, by yourselves, for yourselves, that's your starting point, and then it can come together. Now, this individual is very stressed out, okay? They're very worried because they're wanting your attention and they're not getting it, or they have this thought process where they're not good enough for you. Why the Six of Wands, please? Why the Six? Thank you. Queen of Coins, Capricorn energy. Yeah. See, that's a mother figure as well. And yes, the Queen of Coins can be someone who is really overbearing. It can be someone who is they use, like, their go-to is financial abuse. The Queen of Coins in its shadow aspect, it's financial abuse. That there is a shadow aspect to something that's going on here with the Moon coming out twice. Your person also is not sleeping at night. With this Nine of Swords and the Moon, someone, either you or they, are having nightmares, and it's like someone's waking up early hours in the morning, quite possibly crying, sweating, that sort of thing. That there's very deep, deep, deep emotional trauma here that's going on in somebody's energy. Very deep. Like, literally, the trauma started from the moment they were conceived, never mind from the moment they were born. Like, literally. Someone was told that their existence on this planet was to keep a relationship going. So someone here has been used even before they physically existed in this manifestation, which is absolutely disgusting. Really, really disgusting. Again, not your fault. And if this is your person, again, not their fault. Because remember, these are things that happened to them or to you. Things that you had no say in, you had no part of, you had no control over. But this is clearly what somebody is left with. Clearly. Libra, the thought process in this person's mind is, if my own mother didn't want me, then why would Libra? And that's really sad. It's someone who believes that they don't deserve love or positive attention. What's in their heart space toward Libra, please? Ace of Swords, air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The truth, a revelation, a breakthrough. Someone's wanting a breakthrough. The Sun, nice. Leo energy. Yeah, clarity, like literally just as I said. Prosperity, a happy ending, a happy life as well. Death, Scorpion energy, and the Eight of Cups, Pisces energy. Okay, so this is in someone's heart space. Yeah, a really, really difficult transition. Really difficult. See with this Death card, change, transformation, transition is also liberation. So in this person's heart space, they know that in order to liberate themselves from their current way of thinking, that they need to leave the past in the past, but not before having dealt with it. Because if you look closely at this card, right, this in traditional tarot is known as the Lord of Abandoned Success. Now you can see that these cups, they're not tipped over. They're all upright, they're all strategically placed and balanced, right? So this is someone who has dealt with their problems, they've dealt with the emotional burdens, they have worked through it, they've done the hard, really difficult, life-changing groundwork that was required of them, and then they're heading towards a brand new life, right? So in this person's heart space, they have a complete understanding that to liberate themselves from this, they need to work through the emotional abuse that they have been through in the past. That's the only way to liberate themselves. Because there's this overwhelming thought process that's currently going on with someone. I highly suspect that it's 50-50. Half of you, this read is going to be your energy, and the other half, this read is going to be your person's energy, straight up. Right? That there's this overwhelming thought process that if my own mother didn't love me and accept me, then nobody else ever would. That's what's being worked through. Someone needs liberated from this. I'm trying not to swear, but someone needs to liberate themselves from this mental prison that they were put in. They didn't put themselves in there, someone else put them in there for them. And now they have to break out of that. And they have to be strong and truthful in order to get the job done. And they need to give themselves time as well. In their heart space towards you, Libra, someone feels very, very strongly about you. Just give me a second so I can sort out these cards, because I accidentally flipped over half of the deck while it was in my hand, and that's not good. Yeah, someone's got very, very strong emotions towards you here, Libra, with that Sun, okay? They genuinely want to fight for a joyful future with you. They just need to, I mean, I say they just need to. It's a huge undertaking that they need to go through first. Huge, monumental, life-changing, but they know it needs doing. Actions towards you, the Knight of Swords, so there's a message there, quite possibly by a Gemini, but doesn't have to be. The King of Wands is Leo energy, okay? So it's action, and the Chariot in reverse, Cancerian energy. Yeah, this particular combination with the Knight of Swords and the King of Wands is, it looks like this person is actually going to do the unexpected, right, with this combination, because quite honestly, that they've had enough of being stuck, that they've had enough of whatever wound this is, of dictating to them the rest of their life. They're just not they're not willing to live in that way any further, right? So they're going to do the unexpected towards you. There's a very swift message here that there's an idea, that this person has had an idea about how to have this breakthrough, and they're going to be discussing it with you as well. At one point, they genuinely felt like just giving up, or you just felt like giving up, right? But whoever this is, they're fighting through those feelings of just wanting to give up, and they're realising that actually, yeah, King of Wands, there is a lot more to life, and certain things we do have control over, other things not so much, and you just have to take it as it comes, right? This individual, with this being actions towards you, they are going to let you down, but through no fault of their own, okay? Because the Chariot in reverse oftentimes can indicate that there are travel issues. Someone's car might have broken down, someone's car might have been tampered with, some kind of sabotage with a vehicle, or they have fully planned on travelling. If they're using public transport, they're fully intending on using public transport to come to you, like travel to you, but then Chariot reverse, travel plans have been halted by outside influences. And when you consider the current global situation and how it's vastly different in any given area at this time, it's very, very likely that your person is going to accidentally let you down by making travel arrangements with you, but then not being able to follow through with that because of situations outside of their control. So if they tell you, my flight's been cancelled, the train's been cancelled, or my car is knackered, they're telling you the truth, okay? That there's nothing dodgy going on there, that they're actually legit telling you the truth, right? Travel is not going to be possible. So just be prepared for that, to avoid any disappointments. The energy at the bottom of the deck is the Four of Wands. This is Venus in Aries energy. Stability, a strong foundation. It's that legwork that I was talking about earlier. Someone, and I'm feeling that in a lot of ways that this is both of you, you're needing to lay that firm, solid groundwork first, and then you can come together as a united couple. Okay. Interesting read. Have further clarity, please, for Libra. Oh, freedom. Seriously. Independence, self-determination. Maintain who you are within a relationship. Honour the truth without adapting to another. Yeah, for those of you, see that mother wound. Gaslighting, if the mother wound part of the read was resonating for you, gaslighting would have been a thing, and it would have been a consistent thing throughout your entire life. Now, as an adult, you need to stop gaslighting yourself, okay? It's time for you to break that cycle. Someone is quite possibly still gaslighting themselves, telling themselves really awful things, awful, untrue things about themselves, because that's the programming that they received when they were little, right? It's not true. Please stop gaslighting yourself. You know deep down that it's not true. It's time for you to liberate yourself from that, okay? Also, you might have been trained as a child to be a people pleaser. Please also stop doing that. If you know that that's you, and you know that you're doing it, and you know why you're doing it, stop doing it. Don't be a people pleaser. Don't. That's liberation. That's true freedom. And the return of Aphrodite, temple, birth of the goddess, guidance, goddess energy, and treating as sacred. Allure and magnetic appeal, sensual desires, laughter and delight. You are the creator of your own universe. You should be treated as sacred, a sacred individual with needs, wants and desires. You see how these two match up now? Yeah? Please stop being a people pleaser. That was old programming that you received. That, you might find, has contributed to attracting unhealthy individuals into your space in the past, because they saw your desire to be a people pleaser. They took advantage of that. And then they left you sitting there wondering, what's wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Allure and magnetic appeal. That's the energy that that you embody at this time, but you're not comfortable with embracing it. Because again, some of you could have even been slut-shamed when you were younger too. Embrace the natural allure and magnetic appeal that you embody. Embrace it. Embrace it and enjoy it. Sensual desires, laughter and delight, that this is what you've been missing out on. Because of what? Some nasty, spiteful, evil, vindictive shithead from your past, giving it all this, trying to pull you down at every given opportunity. No, 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 no. Take back your power. Embrace who you are. It's time for you to love who you are and accept who you are. That's true liberation, self-acceptance. This channel is all about building people up. Helping people to understand they have the power. That their power belongs to them, not to someone else. Oh! You see? Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. And trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in your best judgment. Some of you are trauma bonded to an ex as well. That ex, there was a lot of similarities between your ex and the initial childhood wound. A lot of similarities between the parents and the ex. Look, unrequited and release your ex. If you're trauma bonded to an ex, release them, let them go, release them back up into the universe. They might be coming in towards you with an offer of a reconciliation. Please pay particular attention if you know full well and if you understand now what it is that's been going on internally for you. Okay, that this reconciliation, the chances will be quite high that they're just looking towards you for further supply. Okay, if that resonates for you, please be careful of any offers of reconciliation. Love yourself first and trust in your best judgment. If you feel something is iffy, don't do it. It's for Libra, please. Forgiveness. Yeah, stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream and imagine. So basically, forgive yourself for not having known any better in the past. Okay, forgive yourself for not having the information that you needed in the past to make healthy choices. Again, not on you. It's not on you. But now that you know better, what are you going to do with it? You see, there's your power. Romance, Cupid's arrow strikes. Yeah. So someone is madly in love with you. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. So you are the blessing, Libra. Okay. You obviously don't understand the things that happened to you in the past, the things that you had to go through. As humans, we try to put logical reason to certain things, and oftentimes that there can be no logic to be found. Just unfortunately, that there are what often appears to be far too many damaged people on the planet who are damaging their children, and that there is no logic to it other than they feel entitled, you know. Oftentimes the logic doesn't go any further than that. So it's time for you to tell yourself that you're entitled, to pick up your power and to move forward. Forgive yourself for not having known any better at the time. Give yourself permission to grieve and then permission to move forward. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. And as I said, Libra, you are the blessing. You've got someone else in your energy that sees you as the blessing, right? For some of you though, you're not seeing it. You don't see it. And you should see it. Libra, please. Okay. Ultimate love. Okay, so this is your focus. Forgive others and yourself. Release the past. Send love and light. Change the inner to outer. So yeah, like literally, as I just said, give yourself permission to grieve, and then give yourself permission to move forward. That's literally what's coming out in your focus. Why is that under there? Random. That's the next deck that I'm going to pull, but one of them wanted to come out early, so there we go. I'll just leave it there. Right, have a healing message please for Libra. Okay, right. So the way that these healing messages work, this is a meditation deck. So if this message resonates for you, then it's advised for you to meditate on the color cyan. Build your confidence. Strengthen your confidence and self-belief. Balances and gives clarity in times when you need to make choices. Helps you to release stress to attain peace and relaxation. Fine-tunes your communication abilities and can help you to find your niche. So if that resonates for you, then you might benefit from meditating on the colour cyan to help you to build up your confidence and self-belief. Okay, so this next deck, it tends to get a little bit too specific for some. It doesn't mean that the entire read wasn't your read. It just means that that this part of the read might not be your read. Okay. So Libra, please. Okay, right. So you've got R, sexy, E, athletic, W, wealthy, and short. Okay, so some physical attributes, possibly for somebody, and curvy. Okay, right. So someone absolutely loves your physical body as well as your mind. There's see with this wealthy. You'll never go without, Libra. You'll never go without. It's not just about being financially wealthy. Yes, it can be, of course. For some, it can be. But wealth comes in a variety of different ways, okay? So, first of all, a lot of you are never going to be short of offers because you, again, you're not seeing yourself the way that others see you. And if you really think about it, damaged people, like the ones that you dealt with in your childhood, they often pick on those who have qualities that they themselves do not possess. That's why they try and destroy others, okay? That's why. So just remember that, all right? You're not going to be short of offers. Never, ever, ever. You've got it all going. You really, really do. For Libra, please. Goals. It's time for you to take your goals off the back burner and go after them. So for those where you had to surrender pieces of yourself during your childhood or during other abusive relationships that you've had over the years, if you had to surrender pieces of yourself in favour of those relationships, it's time for you to pick them back up and for you to start genuinely enjoying your life once again. And you will find that once you take back your power, it's going to be really, really difficult, if not impossible, for the same story to repeat. It's time for you to focus on what it is that you're wanting to do with your life instead of what others seem to think that you should be doing with your life. Right, you'll never change the world by trying to fit in. Yeah, be authentic. And bitches get stuff done. Yeah, there's nothing that you can't achieve. Really interesting read. So that is what I have for you. If you would like to book a private reading with me, then the link to do so can be found in my descriptions box and it's in my pinned comment below. Now, if you're on a mobile device, you might not see the comment section, okay? So if you just scroll down, you can see the comment section. If you scroll down, just click on it and then scroll up. And from there you should be able to see the pinned comment that I've left for you. Okay, right, thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely week and I will see you in the next one. Bye.